Yes, and we've now been joined by Matt Kenseth, driver of the number 42 Credit One Bank Chevrolet for Chip Ganassi Racing. Matt, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yes, all right. We're going to go ahead and go to media for questions. As a friendly reminder, please hold your question to one at a time. And Tom, we're ready when you are.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, again, it's star one. If you do have a question, star one at this time. We'll go first to Jenna Fryer with the Associated Press.
Hey, Matt. How are you?
Good morning. Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm wondering, what is your understanding of the setup of the car when you get there? You haven't been in a car the end of 2018. Have you guys discussed what kind of setup you're going to use?
Chad assures me it's going to be perfect.
Awesome. Great. You should win the race then.
Yeah. How was that? I mean, yes and no. I mean, we've I leave that job to him and the engineers, everybody here at CGR. They've ran really well at Darlington the last 2 years, so I'm thinking they're probably not going to veer too far off of that. And I think you'll run those first 30 laps, and then you get the kind of extended cautions there to be able to kind of make some small adjustments and go from there. So I don't think it's real different than what they've ran here last year, maybe even the year before.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll go next to Lee Spencer, RacingBoys.com.
Welcome back, Matt.
Thank you.
Just curious how much time you've spent in the simulator to prepare for this weekend.
About 15 minutes or so. I went over there. There's a lot of good things, about it, but it's still not exactly the race car. So I've been doing as much as I can as far as being prepared and looking at data and reading notes. And going to the simulator was one of those boxes I wanted to check. So I did go there and drive it and make a few runs at Darlington and kind of drive it, and felt comfortable and all that stuff. But it really didn't spend an extended period of time there because in my mind it's still not like driving the race car. There's a lot of things that are very similar, but there's a lot of things that are different as well. So I did spend a little bit of time there, but not a lot.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
No problem.
We'll take our next question from Claire B. Lang with SiriusXM Radio, NASCAR Radio.
Thank you. Good to have you back, Matt. And I wonder, when you roll off at Darlington and you think about the field at the start of the race and jumping in the car, what are your thoughts? How do you think it will look? It could be a little bit crazy, or maybe not. Everybody's professional. You've been around a long time. How do you envision this all happening at the start?
Well, yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see where everybody starts. And nobody's been in a car for a while. Certainly it's been longer for me. And I think the biggest difference for me also is that I haven't driven these race cars or driven for this team. So kind of a few more unknowns and not sure, how exactly everything's going to feel, all that kind of stuff. So certainly there's a little bit of anxiety for those first few corners until you kind of get rolling and get used to things. And at the same time, everybody's going to be ready to pounce. It's restarts are very important. Track position is very important, and you always want to get what you can get when you can get it. So I don't expect people to be taking it real easy or maybe giving you a whole bunch extra room or anything like that. You certainly don't expect any kind of special treatment. Everybody's going to be out there ready to pounce and get whatever spot they can. So you're just going to have to try to be smart, and especially for me, just try to be smart and get through those first bunch of laps and kind of hopefully get in a rhythm, get a little bit of room to move around and breathe and get kind of acclimated and go from there.
You have some fun out there. Thank you. Appreciate it, Matt.
Yeah, no problem. Good talking to you.
You too.
And we'll take our next question from Liz Clark with the Washington Post.
Matt, thanks for doing this, Matt. I'm wondering if you could summarize the kinds of records and logs that drivers are being asked to keep track of, for safety's sake. And I assume you're good with that and it makes sense, but I'd love, in addition, your thought about having to do that.
I can't really touch on that one very much. I think that would be a better better question for somebody from NASCAR. So I think that's still. I've read the booklet and packet, and there's going to be a bunch of questions I know you got to answer on Saturday and Sunday before you get to Darlington, but I have not seen that part of it yet.
Got it. I totally understand. Well, be safe. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll go next to Bob Popgrass with Fox Sports.
Yeah, Matt, drivers are being told to stay in their motorhomes. So I was kind of curious, do you have a motorhome? Have you rented a motorhome, or will you just have to drive down and kind of stay in your car?
Yeah, so I was just planning on driving my car down the first bunch of weeks, but I kind of heard that as well, and I know they're trying to keep everybody kind of in their own, kind of by themselves as much as they can, away from a bunch of other people. So yeah, I still have my motorhome. Hoping to sell it, didn't. So thankfully, I still had it, and I'll have that there. So I'll have somewhere to hang out for a while.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Alex Andreev with Charlotte Observer.
Hey, Matt, thank you for taking the questions. Kurt Busch was just on the line and said that he has plans to actually head to the race shop and talk to his crew chief. I'm curious if you have already been to the shop in person or have met up with Tony Raines at all, or have plans to do that before heading to Darlington.
No, I haven't met with Tony, my spotter, yet. I met with Chad a bunch of times. I'm actually at the shop right now. I was just meeting with him and Chip when I ran upstairs here to make this call. So yeah, I've been over here a fair amount. Like touched on before, it's different with the shifts. There's not a lot of people here, at the same time. But actually just going through all the final details of the car for Sunday right now, just making sure the fit is good and kind of going through all that stuff to get ready.
Okay, thank you.
We'll go next to Daniel McFadden with NBC Sports.
Yeah, Matt, you started racing at Darlington in 1997. I was wondering, at what point in your career did you feel comfortable with Darlington and all the challenges it presented to you as a driver? And how differently does this track race in the daylight and early in the middle of the spring compared to late in the evening at the end of summer?
Well, I mean, things change rapidly. I think Darlington and when Rockingham was still on the schedule, those tracks down there in that part of the state with all the sand and the environment down there and the hot sun and all that stuff seem to change more than most tracks that you go to from year to year. Darlington's obviously changed a lot during the years. There's been a repave in between there, and it certainly keeps getting bumpier and all that kind of stuff. But I think the cars and setups, rules, and all that stuff seem to change probably faster than what the tracks change. So it's a little different every time you go down. I don't know that I have a good comparison for a day race in May compared to a summer race in September. It sounds like it's going to be the first hot day of the year. On Sunday, it sounds like it's supposed to get to 90 last time I looked, and that's about the same as it is usually when we're down there in Labor Day. So I don't really anticipate it being that much different at the start of the race, but certainly it's still going to be light at the end of the race. So the end of the race, I think, will be different than the second one. I think it changes definitely a little bit at night. I think it picks up speed and changes balance just a little bit.
We'll take our final question for Matt from Greg Engel with Drive Tribe.
Thanks. Glad to be the last one, rather than all. Welcome back. But you obviously this advantage kind of came up at an opportunity for this. And so, how important is it for you when you get back and everything gets back to normal? Is it for you to showcase your skills going forward and maybe setting up racing for the future beyond this year?
Well, right now, I'm not really looking too far beyond Sunday, to be totally honest with you. But certainly the learning curve is going to be steep. I know that being out of a car that long and starting with a different team, and then piling on top of all that, not having practice for the foreseeable future. or testing or anything like that. It's going to be very challenging. So, but I'm really excited. I got to admit, I'm as excited as I've been to go racing in many years. So I'm really looking forward to getting to the track. I really like this group of guys. The cars look nice. The Camaros look like they're really fast. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to the opportunity. I just know that's going to be a big challenge. I'm going to have to work hard and do my best to try to take advantage of the opportunity.
Thank you, Matt. Welcome back and have fun Sunday.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
I'll turn the call back over to Amanda.
All right, Matt, thanks again for joining us. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.